Hair and Makeup guys, today I'm here with my lovely friend and fellow YouTuber and fellow makeup lover Hannah, and she also has a YouTube channel which I really want you to go and see because we're going to be doing a collab video soon as well. What's your channel, Hannah?
I just got mine on Hannah Jane's actually. Really
so go to that and you will see it. So we were talking about what look we should do on Hannah today, and we were saying we were kind of looking at a few red carpet looks, and we came across the Angelina Jolie look from her Oscars 2014, and we just thought that was really classic, quite a suitable, beautiful, again you can wear it as a really nice evening makeup or a special occasion. So I'm going to start prepping Hannah's skin with a little bit of Touche Eclat foundation, the YSL one, and I'm actually going to mix BD40 and BD30, and I've got new lights today guys, so tell me if you can notice the difference. I want to see what you think to the skin because I found my old lighting was bleaching the skin quite a bit. So I'm excited to see what you guys think to the new lighting because hopefully the skin should look a little bit truer. So I'm just going to start applying this with a MAC buffing brush. And don't forget your ears as well if you've got your hair up.
Why are you using a buffing brush as opposed to
I like this on other people just because I find it's weird. If I'm doing it on myself, I will use fingers sometimes, but on other people I find it easier to apply from a brush. Kind of feels a little bit more hygienic as well sometimes, and I think it's kind of easier to get it really flawless as well. It's quite nice to kind of really spread it throughout the skin, and you can kind of build more coverage where you need it. Whereas I think sometimes as well, if your hands are quite warm, it can almost take the makeup off again.
Yeah.
And just turn that way forward. So I'm going to come back to doing Hannah's concealer after we've kind of worked on the eyes and the brows, just so I find if there's any fallout from powder shadows, which we will be using, it's always easy to do the corrections afterwards. So I'm going to give Hannah's brows a little bit of a groom. Now, Hannah has brows to be very envious of. I think I have massive brow envy. And we're going to fill a little bit of the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Medium Ash, which I think you also use as well.
That's the only thing I use now.
It is good, it's really good. I think the colour's just so beautiful. So again, on Angelina's, it was quite a fair brow she had, but again, I'm just going to kind of mimic that on Hannah, but keeping it true more to her brow colour. So I'm going to do not too much of a full, keeping it full, but not kind of really straight arch. I want it to be a little bit softer. Or thread, Hannah, what's your or wax, what's your kind of preference?
If I was able to, I would thread or wax them because I think you get a much cleaner lines, but because I do beauty work and things, I can't afford to let the regrowth come through for shoots. Yeah. So I have to pluck. But if I had a choice, I'd absolutely be threading or waxing.
Would you? Yeah. So next, to give that really nice kind of clean base for a really nice eye that's going to last all night as well, I'm going to go with my trusty favourite, Laura Mercier. This is Eye Basics in Flax, and I just find this really does ensure that all the kind of fatigue or tiredness is out the eyes, or if there's any discoloration on the lid. And just close me down, it really does just kind of prep the lid, acts as a primer, but it just conceals really nicely in a way that I think it sets in the way that a concealer perhaps doesn't. So you do get that nice kind of clean finish that won't crease. Okay, so the Marc Jacobs Elite palette was one that's been in several favourite videos of mine and my Sephora haul, and I thought this makeup look would be a really good chance to show this actually. The colours in this are really beautiful. You've got a mix of mattes and shimmers, and I think this palette will be a really good one to go to for a nice evening or day makeup look. So I'm going to take the lightest colour first, the matte one, and I'm going to take that kind of through the brow bone, and there's really good kind of pigmentation on these, so they are quite rich in pigment, and I'm just going to start buffing that through the brow bone, a little bit down the lid so it can almost blend into the other eyeshadows. And then taking the next colour, which is kind of like the more sort of mushroomy taupe colour. It's a little bit redder than taupe, but it was really nice. I'm going to take that through the crease. Just look straight ahead for me, Hannah. So if you just look straight ahead, I'm going to start kind of buffing that through the socket. And then close me. And I'm going to take that kind of down the lid as well a little bit, but quite softly so it's not too opaque in colour. Just buff it into the top eyeshadow that you've already used. So next I'm going to take a bit of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place gel liner, and this one is in Stay Coffee, which is a really deep brown, so it's kind of like a black brown, and I think this is really nice because it keeps the smokiness soft as well. I'm going to take a Real Techniques liner brush as well, the silicone liner brush. And I'm just starting on the inside corner, and then I'm just kind of working that outwards. And again, the good thing with this kind of makeup is that if you're not good at doing a perfect straight line, as long as you've got kind of a few nice dots along the liner, you're going to smudge it out anyway, so don't worry too much. And it's not so much of a flick, but just pulling the eye out a little bit. But you just want to make sure along that lash line is nice and dark. So going back to the Marc Jacobs palette now, I'm going to take a bit of the darkest colour and I'm going to run that over the liner we've already done and kind of smoke that out. So I'm going to take a MAC, I think this is a 219 brush, and I'm going to go in with the darkest colour. So it's quite a round pointed brush. I'm just going to do it so I kind of roll it over what we've already done with the liner. So this is why you don't need to worry about your liner being super perfect. But again, you want to thicken up towards the outer corner a little bit. And just make sure you're kind of buffing along. Take a bit off on the back of your hand if you need to. And just kind of practice smudging over that line a little bit. And pulling it out a little bit at the corners. And then go back in with your blending 217 brush. And you just want to smudge that in as well. So it kind of stays nice and soft. So just start bringing that in a little bit. And then go with your 217 that you used the first time round. And mix the darkest colour and the medium brown that you used before. And just turn that a bit back. And then again, just kind of buff that through your crease a little bit. And just make sure you're pulling the eye outwards as you blend. So you get that nice kind of shape. And I'm just going back in my pencil brush again. And then I'm just going to kind of firm up that layer a little bit so it's a little bit deeper again on that outside corner. And then I'm going to take on the same brush, the pencil brush, and take a little bit of that under the eye as well. And just let it join so it kind of flicks upwards from the bottom lash line. But again, keep it nice and soft so that it doesn't go all the way in. You want it to kind of fade out by about halfway along the bottom lash line. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Clarins Crayon Kohl in 01 Intense Black. So just close your eyes for me. I'm just going to run that right near the lash line. Because if you look at Angelina's makeup, it's kind of mostly dark browns, but there's a little bit more intensity right near the lash line. So I'm just going to take that, and again with another pencil brush, this is the Weather one, I'm just going to kind of massage that into the roots of the lashes with your pencil brush, mostly on the outside corner, and then do a few dots underneath the lash line as well, just so that it is really nice and dark on that outside corner. But keep that bit really close to the lash line and literally just on the outer third, don't even bring it halfway. So I'm going to take from the shimmer side of the palette, I'm going to take this one here, and I'm just going to pop that on the inside corner of the eye just to lift it a little bit. So I'm going to take a really small brush, this one is a Zoeva Detail Shader, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on a brush, take the excess off on the back of your hand first, and if you just close your eyes for me, I'm going to pop that kind of on the inside corner, so just get that nice kind of pocket of light on the inside of the eye. And I think if you look at Angelina's eyes, they don't have kind of shimmer all over, it's more just tactically placed to kind of open up the eye a little bit on the inside. So I'm going to add some lashes, and I think the ones that Angelina had on were very similar to the Ardell Demi Wispies. So a bit of duo and tweezers, let that glue dry for 30 seconds. So I'm going to take the Shu Uemura lash tool and I'm going to apply this onto the lash, so just let it down for me, Hannah. So I'm just going to pop it kind of in the middle first, and then I'm going to use it to kind of push it onto the lashes. So you can wait till it's tacky to kind of really push it exactly where you want it. And I'm just going to pull those along. So now I'm going to take a bit of the e.l.f. Mirror Infused Mascara and I'm going to pop this on the top lashes to blend through the top ones, and I'm going to pop some on the bottom as well. It's got quite a nice synthetic brush, but it's really good for kind of separating the lashes. So turn that way a bit for me, Hannah, and just look up. And again, we're still going to leave the concealer right till kind of after the eyes are finished, just so we can get everything really nice and perfect. So just define those bottom lashes. Again, I think if you focus the mascara on the outer third, so there's a little bit more mascara on the outer eye. So I'm just going to blend the real lashes and the falsies together. So you want to go underneath and just really push those kind of into each other. So now I'm going to take these two MAC Prep and Prime, they're kind of like a concealer pen highlighter in one. I find they're really good. One's more kind of orangey tone for getting rid of any blue under the eye, and then one's a lot more brightening. So I'm going to take the BrightForecast and Lightboost, and I'm going to use the more orangey one first, just as like a base concealer. So you just twist them up. You just look up from here, I'm going to put a little bit kind of lower onto the eye. And I'm going to take a Real Techniques Dome Shadow Brush. So just look up from here. So I'm just going to start buffing that in, little circles. So taking the Lightboost colour, I'm going to now kind of use this to brighten under the eye. I'm going to take it almost into the inside corner of the eye as well. And I'm going to take it under the eye. If you turn that away from me, Hannah, I'm going to use this to highlight as well on the side of the cheekbone, the tops of the cheekbone. So I'm going to push this down, but I think especially if you can go right into the inside of the eye, you get a really nice kind of highlighted finish. And you can even use one brush to kind of buff it inwards and then another one to kind of blend it outwards. And then you can use your foundation brush as well, just to kind of help buff that in as well, so it's really seamless. And you can use this as well to help you kind of really lift your eyes. It really just helps kind of sculpt the eye up and lift it that little bit more. So I'm going to take the Laura Mercier Translucent Pressed Powder, and this is just kind of a clear powder, so it's a really good one that suits all, with a Japanese artist brush, and I'm just going to set that into place. So I'm going to take that down the centre of the face. I'm going to work with mostly kind of powder products today generally, so powder blush, which Hannah will love because I know she loves her powder products.
I love powder.
Why do you love powder so much, Hannah?
I just find that I get particularly oily in my T-zone, especially as I'm on and off the tube all day for work, so I really am focusing on matting things down.
Yeah. So then I'm going to take a bit of the new Dior blushes. This is in Beige Nude. I'm going to use a Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt brush, and I'm just going to apply that kind of to the apples and blending outwards slightly. So I'm just going to add a little bit of colour, but very, very subtle. And you can use it to contour a little bit, just sort of take a little bit of shape into the cheekbones. I'm going to line the lips with Bobbi Brown Beige, and I'm just going to take this kind of all over Hannah's lip, and we just want to emulate that really nice kind of nudie lip that Angelina had. So I think if you cover the lip first pretty much all over, you can see your shape really easily then. And for lips, I'm going to use Rouge Prodigy in 122 Nude by Clarins, which is quite a nice kind of flat nude colour, but it's not too pink and not too beige. So we're going to put this over the top of the lip. I'm going to use a Schuh Mirror lip brush. And I'm just going to apply that on top of the lip. And it's quite a nice moisturising lipstick, so you could just use this on its own. But we're going to apply a little bit of gloss on top as well for that kind of true Angelina finish. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of Tanya Burr's lip gloss in Chic to the middle of the lip. So I'm just going to take that kind of off the applicator onto the same lip brush I used. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that in the centre of the lip for a little bit of kind of extra glossy finish. And then the final thing I'm going to put on top of the cheeks is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector powder, and I'm going to use Moonstone, just a little bit to the top of the cheekbones. And I'm going to use a Japanesque brush for that as well. So I'm just popping that on top of the cheekbone, and turn a little bit more that way for me. And this is really, really lovely, really soft, and just keep it kind of to the top of the cheekbone. So that's the finished look, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Obviously adapted to suit your face shape or your eye shape. Keep it nice and smoky on the outer third and go with a nice nude lip and quite a neutral blush. Thanks so much for watching. Me and Hannah will be doing our collab very soon, and I will link Hannah's channel below for you. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you soon for more videos. Thanks, guys. Bye.